Sarah had always loved exploring abandoned places, but this time felt different. The old psychiatric hospital at the edge of town had been closed for decades, shrouded in mystery and whispered rumors. On a dare from her friends, she decided to investigate the eerie, forgotten building alone just as the sun began to set. As she approached the towering, decaying structure, the wind picked up, carrying with it a distant, mournful wail. The massive iron gates creaked open, almost as if inviting her in. Sarah's heart raced, but curiosity got the better of her. She stepped inside, the heavy gates slamming shut behind her with an ominous finality. Inside the hospital, the silence was suffocating. The once white walls were now stained with age, and the faint smell of mildew hung in the air. Her flashlight beam cut through the darkness, revealing dusty corridors that seemed to stretch endlessly into the gloom. But it was the shadows, long and unnaturally still, that made her skin crawl. Sarah's footsteps echoed eerily as she ventured deeper into the hospital, each creak of the floorboards amplifying her growing unease. The further she went, the stronger the feeling that she was being watched. She paused, listening intently. For a moment she thought she heard the soft shuffle of feet behind her, but when she turned, there was nothing but empty hallways. Ignoring the chill creeping up her spine, Sarah continued her exploration, finding herself drawn to a door at the end of a long, narrow corridor. The door was slightly ajar, revealing a room bathed in an unsettling pale light. Cautiously, she pushed it open and stepped inside. The room was filled with old hospital beds, each one covered with a thin white sheet. Her heart skipped a beat as she noticed that some of the sheets had strange, lumpen shapes beneath them, as if something or someone was lying there. The air grew colder, and Sarah's breath misted in the dim light. She approached one of the beds, her hands trembling as she reached out to lift the sheet. Just as her fingers brushed the fabric, a low, haunting whisper filled the room. "They're still here! Watching! Waiting!" The lights flickered, and the room seemed to close in around her. Panicked, Sarah backed away, but tripped over something on the floor. A small, dusty notebook. She picked it up and quickly flipped through the pages. The entries were scrawled in a frantic hand, describing how the patients never truly left. The last entry sent a shiver down her spine. The silent ones move only in darkness. Do not let the light go out. Suddenly, the lights in the room blinked off, plunging her into complete darkness. Sarah's heart pounded in her chest as the sound of shuffling feet grew louder, closer. She fumbled with her flashlight, but it refused to turn on. The whispers became a cacophony, surrounding her from all sides. With her breath catching in her throat, Sarah realized she wasn't alone. The silent ones were awake, and they had found her. The last thing she felt was an icy touch on her shoulder before everything went black.